Jesus freak here. I don't really like to think about political stuff. And I kind of wish I didn't have to. But, just the world we live in. I feel that the tribalism we've had to deal with just, when I was a kid, the idea of the unit party, the Democrats and Republicrats was very much a thing. And that's probably why we mostly saw it, people mostly saw it as my team, your team. But that's where it started to get ugly. And the sparks of the MAGA movement were already starting to ignite. And I started seeing this ugliness when I was a kid in the 1980s. But it was nothing like it is now. You might have a few wingnuts who thought that Democrats were literally virgin killing Satanists. But, they were the extremists. But it's gotten to be more and more of a thing. And it's like, I started finding out what a lot of these preachers that these people are listening to were saying, because, that stuff never really hit my radar. But I started watching channels that would go over the sermons that were coming out of the pulpits of some of these bigger churches. And we started seeing some real nastiness. Like, you look at some of these guys like Greg Locke, where, people talk about how, we're conflating our faith and our politics or whatever, but that's what these guys are literally doing, is conflating I don't want to say Christian identity. Christian identity has another meaning, but their identity as Christians with their identity as Republicans, to the point that they act like outside of the party there is no salvation. You look at people like Greg Locke. You cannot be a Democrat and be a Christian. Like, I can't remember exactly what he said. I mean, the guy's literally unhinged. I mean, he's hopping around like a lunatic and screaming. Like, isn't one of the signs that someone's capable to be a pastor that they have some measure of self-control? And this guy's just letting it loose. He's like, he can't control himself. If he's just losing his grip on well, You'd say pulpit. It's more like a stage. Like, he literally gets hopping mad. It's like, the more I see of these mega church leaders, the more I'm like, there's no Christ in their Christianity, and there's no Christianity in their message. It's like they've thrown out the gospel entirely. Like they've replaced the cross with an AK-47. I mean, I could get into one of Sun Myung Moon's kids who literally did that. But that's a whole nother story.
Wait.
But it's ironic, the connection in there, all the ties between Sun Myung Moon's cult from Korea and the American far right. I mean, just look, Paula White groveling at the feet of his widow. The woman who apparently, I mean, I don't speak Korean, so I can't tell you whether or that's an accurate translation or not, refers to herself as the only begotten daughter. What? A cult that teaches that Sun Myung Moon was the name above all names. What? I mean, you look around and you find that pretty much all these wackadoo cults that are tied to Christianity are tied to Christianity at one inflection point. I refer to it as New Apostolic Reformation. That's a term that one of their own used. It's because they believe they're setting themselves up not only as the next great Reformation, but that their leaders, whom they call apostles, are poised to take political control over the earth. Whatever happened to I have conquered the world? Whatever happened to my kingdom is not of this world? Whatever happened to God will judge those who are without? They claim to be Christians. They have a lot of the superficial elements of it. But it feels like they've replaced Christianity with a sort of sadistic nihilism. Now, I know, you're going to go, you're listening to too much Owen Morgan and Souris. And yes, I watch those channels. But I also watch Revealing Truth. I also watch Fighting for the Faith, The Messed Up Church, The Unction. These are channels that get a lot into the weeds with these mega church leaders. I don't want to say pastors. They're not pastors. They act like they are. But You talk about the fruits of the Holy Spirit, like Paul said. You don't see them in these churches. All you see is a bunch of lizard brain tribalism. We rule and you drool. And it's funny to talk about lizard brain tribalism when you got people who actually look like lizards. Look at you, Kenneth Copeland. When that woman from Inside Edition, that's gone mimetic, and it's like everyone's seen that video, right? Where someone calls him out about saying he had to buy a private jet because he didn't want to be up there in a tube full of demons, and he gets these really serpentine eyes when he stares her down. This is the same guy who's on video saying, when I read the parts where Jesus says, I am this, I am that, I just smile and say, I am too. I mean, that's blasphemy. Like, how does no one see that? I mean, people are starting to see it. That's why we're starting to, come out and talk about it. And of course they support the Republicans. But it's like, they don't see the Constitution for what it is. They don't see the Bible for what it is. And if you listen to them, you you hear that something's completely missing. You can't have Christianity without Christ. You can't have Christianity without the gospel. And they've thrown it out. Oh, they love to talk Paul. They love to talk the Old Testament. They love to talk. They absolutely love talking about Malachi 3. I don't hear no crucifixion. I don't hear no resurrection. Anyway, that's just some stuff that's been on my mind. Jesus freaked out.